everyone, and welcome back to Pixel Pages Studio. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kylie, and this channel is all about journaling, planning, productivity, and creativity. For today's video, we're doing a January plan with me, and I'm really excited about this theme. I went with a night sky pixel theme inspired by different pixel art that I found on Pinterest, referencing stars, moons, clouds, and just the night sky. And since this is Pixel Pages Studio, I thought why not start the year with some pixels? So grab your journal, get cozy, and let's plan January together. To start off, I am first creating a Dutch door with the title for January. And you'll see here, I'm just cutting out the dead space before I write January in a pixel font. I did this freehand, but definitely you can do it with a ruler if you really want the clean, crisp lines. It wasn't a big deal to me, so I rather just outline it myself with just a Tombow. So you'll see that I am filling that out here, and then I'll just color it in with the same Tombow. When I think of January, it's always interesting to me because January is a mixed month. It is full of a lot of intentions, energy, but also can be overwhelming. And I'm not sure if anybody else feels this way, but I feel like if you don't have a good start to January, you then feel like the rest of the year is off for you. And I don't want that to be the case this year. I'm going and I'm telling myself that I'm okay if things are not perfect. And that's already happened to me. And it's fine. You know, I decided to create this channel and I had full intentions of having everything be ready January 1st. That clearly didn't happen, but you know what? Nothing bad happened, and I'm still creating and I'm still sharing this. So that is the mindset that I'm going with and what I really wanted to focus on with January. So I'm being intentional with my goals, but I'm also being okay if things are not perfect. So to transition now into the first pixel art that I did is this night sky of just the moon with clouds reflecting in the water. This is just going to be in a gray tone palette, and so you'll see I'll just start coloring in the different boxes with the lightest shade, and then I'll go in with the darker shades, creating different depths and shadow. It does take a little bit, so I'll just let you see as it comes together, but we'll start with the moon, outlining it darker and lighter, and then you'll see it come together. Since the sea and the sky are both black, I end up doing another coat of the black just to show the difference between the two. Next up is the monthly calendar. For January, I wanted the calendar to be clean and functional but still tie into the theme. So instead of filling the entire page with art, I added a small section to the side that will be a dedicated space for a pixel night sky that will be filled with stars and kind of look like the galaxy. For the calendar itself, I went with a classic grid layout because January tends to be really busy with a lot of planning and just things to keep track of. So I really wanted to make sure that I had space to write down appointments, deadlines, and reminders, not only for myself, but now for my son as well. So it was really important to me that I was able to have space to write down everything. Now I am just creating the headers for the days of the week. I am continuing the font that I used on the cover page, so still following a typical pixel font. Again, I just use font space to generate different fonts and then I just recreate them. Here I'm using a stencil, but you can use a ruler as well, and by using the stencil it just helps make the line straighter, but it is a lot more meticulous, so have some patience with it, but it will definitely help you make a pixel font in no time. I will say with this calendar, having Thursday fall on the bind of the journal, I'm not a fan of it. So moving forward, I'll probably make sure that my calendars are either on one page or separated between the two and not going over the middle of the notebook because it did make it hard to write on Thursdays. Now I'm just doing some final cleanup because I am not perfect with a ruler, and that's okay. Now we'll start working on this night sky. This one, instead of it being in gray, I decided to add some color. So we're doing different shades of pink, purple, and black, but we're starting right here with the lightest shade to be the stars, and then we'll add different shades of pink and purple. And once we add the night sky, which would be black, it really starts to come together. The thing with these pixel art is you're not really sure what it looks like until all of it comes together, because as of right now it just looks like a bunch of different colors, but once the black is finally there, you're like, you can start seeing that, oh okay, this looks more like a galaxy night sky. If you've ever done those diamond paintings, similar concept, you add one color at a time and then the image slowly comes together. Now to tie in the color scheme from the galaxy and from future layouts, I just added those colors for each week, showing a gradient. And with that, that concludes the monthly calendar setup. Jumping straight into this layout, this is my habit tracker for January. I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to habit trackers. There are some months that I think they are great and I am super motivated and excited to use them, and then other months that I struggle to use them. For this month, I created about 5 different calendars to track 5 different habits. And so the purpose is just to highlight which ones I'm doing and then to fill in an X once I complete them, or color in a box like a pixel to show what habits I've done so far this month. When it comes to this spread, I wish I thought out more what habits I wanted to do for January. At this point, I wasn't very intentional with my habits, and that shows as of right now because I'm not really doing any of the ones that I listed. So future note to myself for February, I need to be really intentional with what habits I'm doing, or if I am even doing a habit tracker. We'll find out when I do my February setup or plan with me. We'll see what I feel like, but I do like them to see what I'm doing. It's like a love-hate relationship with if they're motivating or not motivating me. This month, not so motivated, but maybe next month I will be. So again, I'm continuing the pixel font, and this time I'm using this stencil to create a large font similar to what was on the cover page. And so you'll see that I just do this the same method as the calendar spread, but this time, since it is a larger font, I just use each box from the grid spacing as a pixel itself, similar to what I did with each of the art pieces. Each box is a pixel itself, and so it does make it easier filling those in when each box is just part of it. You will see that I made a mistake in habits. I connected the T to the S with the ruler, common mistake, but you know what will fix that? A white gel pen. And so here you'll see that I am just filling that in, and it's like it never even happened. So win-win. Now I'm gonna start with working on the night sky mosaic here. This time it is just clouds, and we will see the clouds go up into the moon and the stars. And I really liked how this one came out because it was a cool transition of the darker shade of purple to then the lighter shades. This was a different way of showing that you can still have the same theme, but you can do different layouts that still have the same cohesion of colors and style. Moving into the weeklies, I decided to work smarter and not harder, and by doing so, I'm having just one large pixel art that is visible throughout the entire week. And to do so, I went in and I cut out Dutch doors, each representing one of the weeks of the month. But the most important thing to me was that you were able to see the large pixel art that I'm going to color soon. And this one is again another version of stars, moon, and clouds. Again, keeping in theme of the night sky. You'll see here I cut out, I think it was about 5 or 4 pieces for the weeks, but I wanted to make sure that you could see the border of the artwork on all of the spreads, and so just doing some final cleanup of it. And now we're gonna go in and start coloring the pixel artwork by first doing the lighter shade and then the pinks. Those will be the clouds, and then the purples will be the different shades of the night sky. For the changing camera, I had to come and film this another day. But now getting into the functionality of my weekly spreads, I wanted them to have some consistency by week to week. And one of the ways that I did this is by having a calendar on the left side so that I can visibly see what date is when during the month. I'm currently struggling on which day it is. I am thinking that it's Thursday or Wednesday, but in reality it's only Tuesday. But another thing I wanted to take note of is priorities for the month, and one of my priorities is working on this YouTube channel, and I don't have strict deadlines when it comes to those, so I wanted them to be visible throughout the entire month or visible on every week regardless of what I was focusing on. And so for the first week of the month, I went with just a column layout to write down my daily tasks for each of those days. To differentiate the weeks, I did go ahead off camera and add in tabs. For the tabs, I just went in and counted how many spaces I would need, and then I think it was around 6, and then I cut on the 2 ends diagonally so that it looked like a tab. And then now I'm just using the different shades from the color palette to add some variation to separate each week when you turn over. Since I also had some space on the right that's visible, I decided to use it as a mind unwind or a brain dump basically. So this can be when I have either tasks or just something on my mind but I don't necessarily have a space for it, it goes here. I also saw a lot of white space, so I decided to use the light shade and color in every other line to add some variation. With that, we've finished the last spread for January, and we'll do a final flip through of everything and see how it came together. I'm really happy with how this theme turned out. I really enjoyed drawing the night sky in pixel versions. This setup reminds me that planning doesn't have to be about doing everything perfect, and it's just the energy I want for January. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your theme is for January. Thank you so much for planning with me, and I'll see you in the next video.